Hey, what's going on, guys? So in today's video, we're going to be removing some rust. Now, I'm sure I've done this video many times over the years. I do repeat myself occasionally. I obviously have a million different hobbies, and knives are kind of the big thing that I do. I am a cutlery lover, after all. But if you're a newer viewer and you haven't seen any kind of rust removal before, maybe you stumble across this video and maybe it helps you. So I'm a huge fan of rust erasers. Now, what's a rust eraser? It's just that. It's something that, erases rust. It's basically a rubber sandpaper. It's the easiest way to describe this. It's very rubbery, and it has a very fine grit in there. So it's abrasive, so when you rub it on things, it's not necessarily damaging or scratching like sandpaper would, especially a coarse sandpaper. But it does remove rust, surface rust. If you have some serious pitting, this is a great place to start, but then obviously there's some other steps you have to take as well. So what do we need? We need one rusty knife. This is a Reiff fixed blade. Fantastic knife. This one is in CPM 3V. This is their F4. All right, highly recommend it. Just beautiful knife, but took this camping and it has a bunch of surface rust. You can see right there in the bevel. Across the blade here, it's a little worse on the back. I don't even think this one specifically got wet. I think it was just the humidity and it didn't get wiped down, and that's it. It was stored, and when I took it back out, I noticed the rust. So all we have to do for this, get a little rag, lay that out, take your rust eraser, and just like you're in school, you made a mistake, oops, some rust, you go ahead and erase it. All right, it is that simple. So again, what we're essentially doing is we're sanding it. We're just sanding it with a soft abrasive. All right, now the hardest part obviously is down in the tight areas. That's why this block, you can use kind of the edges for some of those tighter areas. You can use the tip. You can see obviously this was rounded everywhere because I use it all over the place. One thing though, with a rust eraser is that if you're doing this, it's almost like a form of polishing. So let's say you do one area a lot, you will have a different blade finish. So if you're just removing rust here, here, and here, you have to kind of do the whole surface evenly, at least so it's, aesthetically pleasing. Now, where some of this rust is, it might be stained or lightly pitted, like for example, right here, this area. See how there's still color there? That's because that area had the rust just a little bit deeper than the surface area. Now you can go nuts and work on this for hours to make it perfect. I'm not concerned. I'm just knocking off the rust. I'm going to use some of this Grumpy's blade butter to protect it from further rust and call it a day. Because I use this knife. It's not a collector's knife, albeit it's not cheap. It is a usable tool. All right, so we'll hit that spine. And then the other side. And obviously we're dealing with a sharp knife, so be careful, don't cut yourself. All right, so now for the bevel here, because it is on the edge, I'm going to hold it just in a different position here so it's more stable. Now actually the bevel is one of the easiest places, because what you could do is just resharpen it. Whatever your preferred sharpening method is, that'd be the easiest way to get the rust off that. But this guy is still nice and sharp. I touched this up right before the camping trip, and it's retained its edge fairly well, so I don't need to sharpen it. Just want to knock off the rust. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be right back, because I'm going to carefully remove all this as you're doing this. Not only the rust falling off, but bits of your erasers falling off as well. So I have a bunch of mess here, which might be hard to tell on my very dirty rag. Let me get that off and I'll be right back. So now at this point, if you want to, you can use something like a metal polish like this Flitz. I've always been a fan of Flitz. Like literally 25 years now I've been using this stuff for pretty much everything. This will polish the metal, so depending on what kind of finish you want on your knife, that's something you may or may not want to do. But I'm not even worried about it with this one. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure this is nice and clean. And then we're going to hit it with some of that Grumpy's. And we're going to call it a day. So this is just mineral oil and beeswax. All right, that's all this is. Mineral oil is going to protect our steel. The beeswax is also going to create a layer so that it is somewhat waterproof and water resistant. This is also 100% food grade. Even though I don't do it often, occasionally I will just break out whatever camp knife I have for food prep. I'm not overly concerned with eating poison, but you know, something you might want to consider, or some people might have, you know, an issue with. But you don't have to worry about it. So you can, you know, cut your apple up, cut your steak, whatever. All right, I'm just going to go over this. And this stuff's good for, you know, even the synthetic materials. So I'll go ahead and do the handles as well. This whole knife will get it. A little bit more. All right, so the knife is all done. So the surface rust is removed. There's still staining, so you see little spots like right here. Okay, that's not rust anymore. That is just staining on the metal itself, where it ate a little bit past surface rust. No big deal though. Still nice and sharp. When this finally gets a little bit dull and I sharpen it up, then obviously remove that and polish it up nice. All right, other side. Again, just staining now. And we're good to go. All right, so the whole blade is protected, handle's protected. You can even put this stuff on your Kydex as well, which we'll do real quick here as well. Just a little bit. And this one actually, I have a ferro rod because it has a nice holder here, which I always appreciate the combo, by the way. Even though there's a million ways to make fire. My favorite too has always been flint and steel, which is old school. And then just a nice little ferro rod and something that's, you know, very fibrous. There you go. Very simple, rust removal, and we're back in business. So, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.